Hello, welcome to the channel. He's James.
And he's Matt.
And this is a brand spanking new, all singing, all dancing, may not sing or dance, Aston Martin Vantage Roadster.
And we are putting it up in a proper comparison test against two Spiders, one from Ferrari and one from McLaren.
Stay tuned. Let's start with the Ferrari Roma Spider because it's the oldest car here.
It's 2023. It launched, didn't it?
Which is weird. It feels like it's just arrived, but Ferrari has also just announced, you'll find elsewhere on this channel, elsewhere over at Autocar, the Amalfi coupe, which replaces the Roma coupe.
Which was launched in 2018. So
Yeah.
that is getting on a
That
bit
is
in
getting on a
modern
bit,
car
but
terms.
this remains on sale alongside the Amalfi coupe for now, which is weird because they're a similar sort of car. This one's got a 3.9 litre V8, making 612 horsepower.
Yes.
With a dual clutch transmission, rear wheel drive, and it's, well, how much is this one?
So this one is without options.
Yeah.
About 212, 213,000, I think it starts.
Okay, and if you put some lightweight options on it, it's not too heavy, is it? They quote a dry weight Ferrari, which is 1,550-ish kilos.
So it's probably a true 1,600 and
16 and a bit,
Yeah.
yeah. Which for an all aluminium car with a roof, which weighs, I think it weighs about 70, 80 kilos more than the coupe, more than the Roma coupe, not the Amalfi coupe. It's quite confusing, the range of Ferrari now, isn't it? But it's what, the only car here with rear seats?
4 seats.
4 seats.
4 seats. But they are vestigial, I would say.
Yeah.
So very small people only.
I've always quite liked the Ferrari Roma.
Yeah, I think it's, despite the essential age of the package, it still stands up. It's a really good benchmark, I think, for what we're about to sample now.
Yeah. So let's have a look around the McLaren Artura. James, tell me about the McLaren Artura Spider.
So the McLaren Artura Spider, it's sort of in some respects a bit of an outlier in this one because it's mid-engines, plug-in hybrid.
Yeah.
So very much against the grain with the other two. But as we found out when we awarded it our best driver's car, 2024.
Its breadth of ability means it's not super hard, super focused sports car, is it?
No, it can do the everyday thing. It rides really well. It's quite refined, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we said, it's plug-in. So it's got a 3 litre V6 in the middle.
Yeah.
It's got an electric motor, which combined gives it
690 brake horsepower.
Yeah.
So there's 597 from the engine, another 94 from the motor, which sits between that and the dual clutch transmission, which has only got forward speeds. Reverse is done all by the motor, and that saves a bit of weight, which is quite a McLaren-y clever thing to do.
It is quite clever, and it pays off because it comes in at just under 1,500 kilos.
And that's the DIN curb weight as well, so it's not like a dry weight. That is actually
fluids.
What it weighs when you fill it up with oil. 1,498 kilos or something like that, which is remarkable because it's carbon fibre tub.
Which also helps, as I understand, with the structural rigidity. So
oh, really?
I don't know whether they quote it, but I'm pretty convinced structurally it has the same rigidity as the coupe.
Yeah, McLaren are really, when you get into a Roadster, most of the time you notice, like taking the lid off a shoebox, you notice a bit of shimmy. McLaren's are one of the very, very few cars, if any others I can think of. You take the roof off, you wouldn't know you were driving a Spider, would you?
No,
really. It's 65 kilos heavier than the coupe. That's it, which is not bad.
Again, not a lot given this a powered roof mechanism and this powered hard top, unlike the other two, which are fabric tops.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's an interesting rival here and one that's going to throw up a few surprises.
It has been compared by a lot of people to the 296 GTB, but it's what, 220 grand before options?
Yes.
Which puts it pretty much on the money with the other two. I think it deserves its place as a rival to these.
Definitely. I think this has enough Grand Tourer in it that it warrants putting up against. I think actually a 750S is probably closer in spirit to a 296.
Yeah. And so let's finish with the Aston Martin Vantage Roadster, because that is the reason we are here. Nice looking car, I think, James.
Very nice looking car. Even I even like this matte paint. Matte.
So
does that make sense?
It does make sense. So the thing about this car, right? Usually with a Roadster, they take the roof off. They've done it here. It's added only 60 kilograms. We'll come on to the weight in a minute. They've added only 60 kilograms. They've left the suspension, they think, pretty much unchanged. So front springs and dampers exactly as they were. Rear springs exactly the same, but they've just retuned slightly the rear dampers because, of course, there's 60 kilos up here going over the back. But otherwise, they go, that's it, that's the car. See what you think.
That's quite unusual, because normally that's quite a lot of mass still.
Yeah.
Although it's not a lot of mass relatively, as I think you're about to.
Yeah, so the overall curb weight for this car is 1,800 kilos, so that makes it the heaviest car here, actually by a distance.
Quite a distance.
Mind you, we did do a Dodici Cilindri Ferrari versus an Aston Vanquish test recently, where we weighed the Vanquish as part of its Autocar road test, and that came in at well over 1,900 kilos. So whatever Aston is doing at the moment, it is not making lightweight.
Yeah, they claim lightweight aluminium architecture, but I some time ago in another place put the pre-facelift coupe version of this on the scales, and that came in at well over 1,800 kilos. It's 1,850.
A pre-facelift, or would you call this so do you think this is a facelift car, or would you class this as how new a new car would you class this?
It is a new car. I'm being unkind. Maybe pre-facelift it's the first generation of this Vantage with this engine,
architecture,
with
that engine.
Yes.
So that engine is a 4-litre Mercedes AMG V8.
Hot in the V.
Hot in the V. Turbos in between the banks of cylinders, which always used to be a bit of a problem, because then the hot air going through the turbos gets less dense, so you get less power, because most of what you're burning when you burn is oxygen. So actually getting the turbos as cool as possible is a thing. So to have them in the hot V is great, because it's a compact engine, but does bring with it some difficulties in terms of cooling.
Which they appear to have.
They do seem to have sorted out.
Very clever, aren't they?
Yeah, because it makes 656 brake horsepower, which is loads.
It is, and quite a lot of torque as well.
Yeah, loads of torque, and it makes a good noise, and it drives through a torque converter automatic transmission rather than a dual clutch in the other two. I don't mind that, typically.
It's a ZF, isn't it? Which frankly is almost as good as a DCT in most applications, in most everyday uses.
Yeah, and fundamentally, it's got a front engine, it's rear-wheel drive, it's got a diff that hooks up. I really quite like that sort of thing. So
it's got quite a naughty exhaust as well.
Yeah. So should we start in the Ferrari, because that's the sort of benchmark?
Yes, it's the oldest. It's the car that sets the tone.
Yeah, and then move to the McLaren, because that's the slightly unusual one, and then we'll finish in the new one, right here, and we'll conclude as to who makes the world's greatest glamorous GT Roadster thing. So before we go for a drive, here is some top roof info. The Aston has the fastest acting roof here at 7 seconds. Aston claims a touch under, we filmed a touch over. The Roma Spider's hood takes longer, almost twice as long, at 13 seconds, because it has a panel at the back that it hides elegantly beneath. And the Artura, well, that's the only hard roof here. It's also very fast. McLaren says around 11 seconds, but it's quicker than that by our stopwatch. Similar time to the Aston. I don't suppose any of that is a deal breaker, but here's something else to remember. The Roma's roof can be operated at up to 37 miles an hour. 60 kph, a faster road speed than both the Aston and the McLaren, whose roofs only operate at under 31 miles an hour. So to the Ferrari Roma.
To the Ferrari Roma, the oldest car here, the benchmark.
The oldest car here is 2023. I mean, I know the Roma's coupe was 2018, 19, whatever, but...
Well, even that's quite new. There was a point when...
It does feel it, doesn't it?
Ferrari life cycles like 10 to 15 years, and now...
Yeah, they're rocking through them.
The Roma already, it still seems like a relatively new model to me.
Yeah, me too. I am in Sport, and I've got the damper pushed back to bumpy road setting. We've got the windows up reader, just so that there's a bit less wind.
Shall I put our wind?
Yeah, go on, do it, because it looks weird, but I don't know if it actually makes...
There you go.
I don't know if it actually makes the experience any...
No.
Get a bit less wind in the...
Wind in the hair.
Whatever.
Well, I'm feeling it.
But there's more noise from there, which I think is probably not good for... Do you want to slap...
Shall I demonstrate
how it goes better down? The stylish, efficient way that it goes down, like an MX-5 roof.
It is. That is kind of... When you're paying £200,000 for your car, you don't expect to have to push your windbreak back down, do you?
No, maybe not. But what do you think of this car to drive?
I really like this car.
I do.
I mean, how much faster do you need to go?
Oh, that's plenty, mate. That's plenty.
The way it flows with the road, it breathes with the road, it almost feels like they've set it up for British roads. It's really good. The damping control is excellent.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of softness over the rear axle when you sort of exiting a corner.
Yes, as you described to me a moment ago, it feels not un-Mazda MX-5 alike, like a slightly big one.
Yeah, bigger, heavier MX-5, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, you don't mean that as an insult by any means, do you? No, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Ferraris steer quite quickly, don't they?
Yeah.
This does steer quickly, but it doesn't steer nervously, and it feels, although they talk about front mid-engine, don't they? And I'm never a massive fan of that as a description, because the engine's in front of the cockpit, therefore it's front engine.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's behind the axle line. That's great, but that doesn't make it mid-engine to me. You know, it makes it.
It balances the masses a bit better.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, but I just think it. You know, it responds quickly. It responds linearly. It's not manic. Does it make? There's a little bit of traffic ahead of us, so we just have to ease off slightly. Does it make a nice enough noise for you?
It's not musical, aggressive, or overbearing. It's just not as orchestral as you want a Ferrari to be.
No.
There's a little bit of turbo whistle there as well.
And also, I know it overloads the steering wheel a bit, but I love having the big paddles that stay exactly where you left them.
Yeah.
Because there are times when you've just got a bit of lock wound on and you just think, oh, I want to take the next gear. The gear paddle is exactly where you left it. They feel good, they respond so quickly.
And the Manatino as well. As we'll see with the other cars, that's the simplicity of that system.
It really is, isn't it? And it's funny how we had an engineer in talking at the Autocar Awards the other day about switchgear and how his company is going back to sort of switchgear for temperature gauges and things like that. It's just like, imagine if we'd done everything on touchscreens for the last 100 years and then somebody had come along and said, I've got this great idea. There's a little rotary dial that you can feel exactly something that happens underneath your fingertips and you don't have to look.
Oh,
We'd think it was the best thing in the world. And this little Manatino is an exact exemplification of that, isn't it? It just gives you exactly what you want very quickly and you don't have to think twice about it.
And it's a simplicity of choice. What have you got? You got wet road, you got comfort, sport, race, and then everything off.
Yeah, and you can sort of all the way through, can't you, to ESC off.
And then you can adjust the damping. And frankly, that's all you want to do. You want a bit more throttle response, maybe.
Yeah.
And slacken the damping. That's all the individualization I actually want.
So steering is steering.
Yeah.
That's
good steering is good steering, whether it's
steering,
going slowly or going fast.
Anyway, in short, I'm quite big fans of this car.
Yeah, and it does the GT thing so well. It rides really nice. It's comfort. It's comfortable. It's quiet. So the hood, it's the slowest here. So it's 12 something seconds put out. It's not the end of the world, is it?
No.
And it's 5 layers, I think. So genuinely, it is as quiet as the coupe.
Yeah.
When you're just tooling along the motorway at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And yes, the rear seats are a bit useless, but I mean, if you had a very young family, there's enough space for a kid behind you.
Might make the difference between you buying it and not, or using it and not buying it.
And it's extra luggage space even if you don't.
Yeah. Right, let's jump into the McLaren.
Yes.
So,
into McLaren.
To McLaren, we're out of electric mode already. I see what you mean, mate, because as you said in the intro, this is a Targa. It could feel a bit less open than the others, couldn't it? But this header rail feels further away to me than
the Ferrari.
Maybe I'm sitting lower and further.
Well, you are definitely sitting lower. So that is one thing. This scores if the low set driving position is your thing. This is head and shoulders above everything else here. It's typical McLaren, legs straight, low down. The Ferrari, you do feel like, and you'll find it in the Aston Martin as well, you do feel like you're sat up on the Ferrari a little bit compared to the other two. But it
well
feels
inside this. Yeah.
So we've got a little window at the back open as well.
Okay.
So it gives you a bit more.
Does it make much difference to the bluster?
It does, yeah. When you jack it up, which is one of these buttons here.
Shall I?
There you go. So.
Okay.
So you get a bit more noise.
So I get a bit more wind noise, don't you?
I think it's better with it down.
Yeah, I think so too.
Engine is very good. So we've run out of electricity. So otherwise you'd start off in electric mode, which is actually quite nice.
I do quite like that.
Yeah, especially when you're pulling away early in the morning or just around town, because this is, I'd say, a more shy and retiring McLaren than a lot of them, but it's still quite fruity when you switch it on.
Still an orange mid-engine supercar.
It is. But it's, it's the nicest sounding McLaren, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. I think it sounds better than the V8s.
It doesn't have that industrial edge to it that the other ones do.
No, built as they are out of some old IndyCar project that never happened or something, I think.
Was it a Nissan
something like that, wasn't it?
Endurance racing project,
was
I
it?
think.
Yeah, it was something like, wasn't it? Sorry to the good people of McLaren, I know that was a very long time ago, and you've done very much to that engine, that family of engines since, and they share absolutely nothing. But its origins were from somewhere else, I believe.
It was very much built for a certain task.
Yeah. But this sounds great.
Yeah, it does. And we're in comfort mode now, and it rides really well.
The ride is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably good. I know we're in a sports car and it's sometimes a bit sort of, who cares about the ride in a sports car? But actually, if you're going to spend a weekend away in a car like this with your beloved, or you, either way, you know.
Well, I choose either.
If we had a nice weekend away, the ride comfort in this, I think, is bob on.
Yeah, you don't want it to irritate you. It's all.
Well, the thing is, sporty doesn't have to mean firm, does it? Do you know what I mean? Because this is beautifully controlled, beautifully damped.
Yeah, I mean, Lotus proved that years ago.
But astonishingly absorbent at the same time.
It gets a bit. It can get a bit jiggly at very low speed, but it's just. You expect all the McLaren-ness, the lovely steering, which is still hydraulically assisted.
Yeah.
Great feedback, great weighting. You expect the fact it corners fast and flat. It's very precise, but it's not as we found out on Britain's Best Drivers car. It's not as one way. You know, McLaren's always used to be my way or the highway. You drive it like we say you should drive it to get the best out of it. It does feel a bit more throttle adjustable.
It's a bit more of an open book these days.
Yeah.
Or a back page, whatever you call it.
I like both.
Yeah. Should we talk interior?
Yes.
Is it plush, inverted commas, enough? Luxurious enough? Materials, I really love Alcantara, but it's quite a straightforward working interior.
Yeah, and these seats they go backwards and forwards and adjust for height, but you can't do the back rest, which is fine. I mean, the driver position is good. The infotainment's a little bit clunky compared to particularly the Aston.
I was thinking if you have a partner who is not into cars, but is quite into luxury, would they feel like they're in as special a car as they would if they were in the Ferrari?
Do you know what? I sort of think they would.
Okay.
Just not. I mean, it's stuff like the aluminium grills for the speakers, where you can see the cones inside.
Yeah.
The Alcantara. It's. When we get in the Aston, I think that's where they'll notice the difference. They'll feel like they're in a luxury product then. But I've been pleasantly surprised by how this, given it's such an outlier in its mechanical specification compared to the other two, how well it can do what the other two do in their grand touring duties.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it's head and shoulders above the other two for driving, because enjoying your driving means that you like lots of different things, and it doesn't. The best driver's car doesn't have to do it in one particular way.
Yeah, you don't have to be absolutely on it to enjoy a good driver's car, do you? Sometimes.
And you know
and in fact, modern traffic conditions mean the best driver's car is one you can enjoy all the time at all speeds.
Yeah, and I'd argue you can with this car, because there's a sense of occasion that comes with it. It does look different.
Cool doors.
Good doors, dihedral doors. Who doesn't like a dihedral door? You know, the steering's really nice, the damping's really nice, the view out, so you get this low scuttle, lovely panoramic view out. I just think it's a special car in a different way to the other two.
Right.
And at that point you make about whoever's sat in the passenger seat not into cars getting into it, would they think it's special? They would, but I suspect it would be for different reasons. It would be because it looks the way it does, sounds the way it does.
Right, well, let's get in the Aston before we decide for sure. Yes, so the Aston is quite a fruity sort of car, isn't it?
It is very. It's much more. It's not much more in your. I mean, the McLaren is quite in your face. An orange McLaren is very much
full on.
Full on, but this is more so in the noise it makes.
Because that's 40 miles an hour.
Yeah. You haven't even got the noisy exhaust.
I haven't put on the exhaust yet. quite urgent, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's a bit of lag, and then it comes in at quite a rate.
How much power again was this one?
656.
Yeah.
Which is, well, and the other thing is because the Artura is very responsive immediately because it torque fills with the electric motor.
Which is really good.
The Ferrari is sort of a bit more revvy than this. This revs to 7,000, it says. But I don't reckon you need to take it anywhere near that, do you?
No.
And I don't reckon in most driving you would.
Because the Roma has that torque management, doesn't it? Like the 296 and the F8 before it.
Oh, okay, where it doesn't deliver all torque in
So
all
you
gears
get
to
that-
make it more drivable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite, I mean, it's...
I mean, it is silly, isn't it?
If you want people to know you're coming.
Yeah. All right. This is... Not this is. Is this? It's a sports car, I would say, for one. Is it a muscle car?
We've had this conversation, haven't we?
I think so.
Did we come to the... I think it's a muscle car.
Yeah. Did we have this conversation about a Vantage, or
We might have done,
about
yeah.
something else?
When we were doing Britain's Best Drivers car,
Right,
we drove
okay.
one. Yes, I agree. I think it's more muscle car than sports car.
And actually, there are places in the world that are not necessarily a Welsh B road where that's very appealing. Where actually, if you're going between intersections that have traffic lights, you're coming to a stop, you're going to and from a stop, it's largely straight, it's quite a wide boulevard. You want it to look good, you want it to feel amazing inside, and you want to make quite a nice noise.
It does that really well.
There is quite a lot to be said for this car for that, isn't there? But I don't know if you can feel it. I can feel a slight
Shimmy.
sort of shimmy in the body, and actually through the steering wheel a bit at times as well.
It's the only car here, when you've got the roof up, you can hear the interior constantly creaking away as
really?
it goes over bumps. The other two are solid as a rock in that respect.
Oh, it does that.
It does the pods and bangs.
And we're in, well, I've got the exhaust turned up, but I'm only in Sport.
Yeah.
I'm not in Sport Plus or anything.
Well, Sport is the lowest setting, isn't it?
Oh, of course it is.
You can't go...
So I'm now in track,
Yeah.
which I do not recommend on a Welsh B
No,
road.
it's far too stiff. And even Sport Plus is too stiff. You get some wastegate chatter as well.
That is cool, isn't it?
It is.
For a car that is approaching £200,000, it's probably not going to be your only car. It is going to be a car in which you want to get in it and you want to have a sense of it. It is a car in which you want a sense of drama, theatre. It's a car for occasions.
Yes, I agree. I think there are customers who want exactly what this gets and if this gives, and I wouldn't dissuade them from going down that road. It's not as if it isn't as precise as the McLaren. It doesn't ride as well or have as wide a bandwidth as the Ferrari. But it's still good fun to drive. It's it's still a big, powerful front engine rear wheel drive car. It makes a great noise, and for people who want that sense of occasion and they want to be seen, yes, please.
Yeah. However, let's talk to the Autocar audience, which is a very sophisticated car-loving group of people who would appreciate everything from theatre through to dynamics, through to interior ambience, through to cost.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I mean, this undercuts the other two by 20 grand, but let's be honest, people in the market for this car, this sort of car at that budget, 20 grand here and there is...
And actually, if by the time you've worked out a finance deal or by the time you've worked out depreciation and everything else,
or put the options on that you want.
If you can afford one, you can afford them all, I would thought.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the average, not the average because they're not average, I think people like us will get in this car after the Roma and the McLaren and go, feels a bit heavy.
Yeah.
And they've done...
It does feel the heaviest, the widest, the bulkiest of the three.
They've done what they can with what they've got, and compared to we won't call it facelift, the first gen, the improvements are huge, and it is great fun, and
they're really nice through there.
Yeah, they've lent into that, as you say, that hot rod feel.
All right,
and it does it well, but you can't escape the mass. You just you feel it. there are some, on these roads, there are sometimes you get crests over mid-corner, and when it goes light and then settles again, it feels like it's moved a long way offline.
Yeah.
It just, the weight carries it, where the other two, it isn't as much of an issue.
Come on, we're nearly back at, we're running out a road to give the verdict. What's your top three in reverse order?
I think it might be Aston Martin third.
Yep.
McLaren second, Ferrari first. But that may change. There is just something about the Ferrari's ability to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is in this sort of car, because ultimately these, I mean, I don't necessarily buy into this idea that only coupes, if you have the finest driving experience, you've got to have the coupe because it's stiffer structurally.
Yeah.
Because this adds an extra dimension to the driving experience.
An extra sense of fun to it. Yeah.
It's why they've never made a coupe Mazda MX-5.
Yeah.
And it seems to have done quite well for them. Well, how about you?
My final order, my perfect Sunday. My final order is, I think Aston third.
Yeah.
By which I don't mean as a particular criticism. There are times when if I had all three cars outside for a year, there are days when only the Aston would do. But I would drive the McLaren a bit more than it, and I would drive the Ferrari most of all.
I think that's probably
and
fair.
I think that's where I come to. I find it hard to sort of pick one, because the wonderful thing about sports cars is they all do slightly different things. This is not like a Hyundai i10 versus Volkswagen Up versus Kia Picanto. You know, they're not all trying to do the same thing. They're all trying to do something a bit different. I think the Ferrari probably succeeds just the best, but I think they're all great.
It has such its range of abilities covers the basis of all the other two, which is what's quite remarkable about it.
So we sort of got a verdict. Thank you so much for joining me. I tell you what I would really love is if you would subscribe to the channel, but we are here on Autocar's YouTube every week at least. Meantime, you can find us also at autocar.co.uk for full verdicts on everything. Thanks for joining James and me. See you next time.